to pass judgment on thigh. I talk to the wall by and by. Who am I? I am the guru of the seas. That's who is I.
All right, let's try it all over again. I thought I had it. Hey, nice opening. Look, let's be very honest. I am really struggling with this. So today is the second day of out of town rehearsals, and we are suspended. The principal came in and said, "Knock this crap off until Monday." So thank you for coming out today. We'll cover some news. I've got a couple of Reese moments. And then Monday, I promise you, I will be totally prepared with even a slightly different backdrop. I forgot to move Woody. For the people that are familiar with Woody, Woody was the mascot of trivia for a long, long time on Oceania, and he's also retired and has a beret, something on his head, but you can't see Woody completely. He's over my shoulder right there. Work on the backdrop, have a camera shooting from this side so you can actually see what I struggle with. It's going to take a lot more hours, but I'm determined to do it because a picture paints 1,000 words. Who was it? Nick, I don't know who wrote it. And it is. It makes They do. It makes a difference. This is a different podcast than the morning podcast, than the audio, because there you must paint pictures with words. With this one, I'm going to put up pictures, put up video. You'll see the knucklehead I'm talking about. You'll see the ship I'm talking about. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be the greatest ever. It's going to be, but it's not ready yet. Hey, what can I tell you? You know, I'm impetuous and anxious and even constipated. No, I'm not that, as a matter of fact. I don't have my buttons. That's the other thing. Believe it or not, I can tell you all these stories. My good friends Chat and Claude and Grok, they all said for the for the age that I attract, I probably shouldn't be doing those morning zoo sound effects and like goofy stuff that I do. So we're going to limit that in this. And it won't be. It's still going to be funny. What's going to happen is, I mentioned yesterday, I can bring Jackie Marlin in because we're doing video. I can bring him in before, but this one's going to be different than the morning one. We will we will stumble and cover stories of the cruise and travel industry, but it'll be a much broader appeal without the stripper sound. Back at it. I'm reading my notes because they're not in front of on my computer today, because I have to stare at myself and say, you know, I don't like the way I look. I know my teeth aren't perfect. The only reason I still do this is I have a picture, not available, of Steve Buscemi. I'll have him ready on Monday. I'm going to put him up every time I feel like I shouldn't be doing this. I don't have a face for this kind of operation, but neither did he, and I think he got nominated for an Oscar. This is this will be a multimedia presentation once. Enough about that. What do I have here? From Len. I covered this morning. Princess Cruises has announced they have a new system for embarkation, and I announced this morning. Who cares? Because nobody pays attention. Nobody does what they're told in the cruise industry. Guests they're just never going to change. They want to be the first on, and they want to be the first off. It's that FIFO, whatever the hell you call it if you're a bean counter. First on and first off. First on, first off, not last off. They want to be first on, first off. So even though they say pick your time, show up at your time, it'll go so well. And again, I mentioned this morning, a lot of people watching this probably heard this morning's podcast. It's very similar today. Although in the future, I would probably show a video of somebody pointing a finger and screaming at somebody before an embarkation because his suite isn't ready. Those kind of things. You know, look at this. There's going to be one giant meme. Or one TikTok, 30 minutes of TikTok is what it's going to be. Anyway, nobody listens. So it's nice of Princess to have this system. We're going to be on the Majestic Princess on October 3rd. We don't even know where yet. I love the cruise industry. It might be Manhattan. It might be Brooklyn. I checked yesterday. They haven't made up their mind yet. How the hell do you not know where you're going? We're going somewhere because people are asking me, what about hotels? I'm not sure. Should we get a hotel in Brooklyn? Should we get one in Manhattan? And so we get one in Jersey and take a bus over? No, I don't think so. We'll work on that. So congratulations to Princess. They're spinning their wheels. Nobody's going to pay attention and nobody's going to listen. Oh, mailbag. Another reason for this podcast, really and truly, why am I doing that? Is because when it's done correctly, well, first of all, I'm going to have some help. Off camera, the president of Best Sea Tours has offered to help me because we've moved it to 10 a.m. Wasn't interested at 8:30. Also off camera, has to do with makeup and hair. But I need someone to monitor the Facebook page, which I can't do at the same time. What we'll monitor are comments. We'll be live every day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. for a half an hour. We'll see how it goes. It might go longer because eventually you'll be able to call in and talk to me. Why? I have no idea. Why I want to do it? Don't know. Why you would do it? I don't know. But you'll be able to. But in the meantime, you'll be able to post on Facebook. I'm also on YouTube, but I'm not familiar with that. And Facebook is for our soul farts. Example, I mentioned I didn't know it was called the Block Party on Region 7 Seas. A great idea. On the Welcome Award afternoon, they open up if you want, you open up your suite door, and in the hallway there are servers with champagne, mimosas, whatever. And you meet the people in your hallway, and you build a relationship and generate even friendships. You cruise with them again. It's a great idea. I didn't know it was called the Block Party, but I received from my friend Eddie G a note yesterday. Yes, they still do it. He's one of 6 region cruises. When this is done correctly, you'll be able to post in the comments, tell the moron they still do it. And the president of Best of Sea Tours, the legendary cruise director, will, with a microphone, say, "Excuse me, I'm supposed to tell the moron that it's an extra dimension, and we need some of that." So that's all part of it. So thanks, Ed. Region still does it, and that's what Explorer Journey should have done. They didn't do anything to create a situation where people met other people. They just didn't do it. You with your significant other, that's what you did. Now, we had 11 people with us, so we had people to talk to, people we knew, people to party with. But if you go there alone, that's a nice romantic cruise line. You know it is. Sit in the lobby bar, sit in Nordstrom's, and that's about it. By the way, I have them here. These are wonderful strawberry mini muffins. Second day, 1 day old, but that's okay. They're as fresh as ever. And they turned out perfect. As I said yesterday morning, the wife was a little concerned that they wouldn't come out of the wrapper. Second day, they still come out of the wrapper. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ed, for that. Have you no shame? Again, I would love to have some video right now of the lines in the airports during the TSA not getting paid period. Well, guess what? They have run out of emergency funds, according to Mullen, the new head of DHS. They're out of the emergency funds. So as early as, what are they saying here? May. As early as May, there might be the situation that TSA will no longer get paid again. And I wanted to put up a picture of a guy that was testifying at the McCarthy hearings. This is what I mean about a video where he goes, "Have you no shame, sir? Have you no shame? Have you no decency? These gas bags in Washington, D.C., they have to start doing their job. First of all, the ice thing is melted. You don't see anybody riding anymore. They're not tearing up the Target in Minnesota because they moved on to the next thing. Now the next thing is the war that we didn't want, or the next thing is the Secret Service didn't do their job. We always find something. We are the most spoiled we are Americans, the most spoiled people in the world. We really are. So anyway, ice is melted, so maybe now they got what they wanted. Christy Noma's got. Bottom line is, it does affect our travel, because if they stop paying them again, they're going to stop showing up again. And it's a reason to consider privatization, because if we depend on our elected representatives to do the job, good luck on that. All right, here comes the tough part. I have to try to make Reese talk. Let's see how we go. Hang in there, people.
Good morning, Guru. This story has been around for a few days, But we can't pass up a golf story. 4. More bad news for the state trying to save the planet, while tourists try to save money by going somewhere else. The PGA Tour will not be returning to Hawaii in 2027, ending a long-standing tradition in the islands. The Century, often a season-opening event at the Kapalua Resort's Plantation Course, and the Sony Open at the Waialae Country Club in Honolulu, will not be held next year by the PGA Tour. The 2026 Century Tournament, scheduled for January, was canceled last October after the PGA determined that severe drought and water restrictions in West Maui compromised the golf course. At Travel Weekly's Hawaii Leadership Forum in Honolulu on April 21st, Jimmy Tokioka of the State of Hawaii's Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism addressed a room of more than 300 travel professionals, 70% of whom are based locally. We just found out about this, the governor and I, just like everybody else found out about this, and it got leaked yesterday by a sports writer. He must have heard something from somebody in the PGA Tour, that it was the decision that was made, he said. Milton Lafataga, the brand manager for sports tourism, who is here from HTA, has been in discussions, but they've been very cryptic. Tokioka said the cancellation was not due to a lack of effort by the Trump administration and the Hawaii Tourism Authority in securing the event. We all know with the PGA Tour, when people travel for that, they are high-end spenders, and that's the type of traveler we want to get to Hawaii, Tokioka said. But they have decided not to come back. You know, we are still looking at other things to attract high-end spenders to Hawaii, and we want to make sure we continue to do that in conjunction with all of you in this room.
I think it's over. I have a problem with my loop back. Yeah, how about you? You have a problem with your loop back? It's loop. It doesn't matter. You don't need to know this. All right. What do you want to? You want to talk about this? Where do you want to begin? Hawaii is one messed up state. Part of it, one half of the government doesn't want the tourists. The other half of the government is begging for the tourists. One half of the government is all about saving the planet by Tuesday. The other half of the government wants everybody to come and not worried about it. And they don't meet in the middle. In this case, it's pretty cut and dry. You cannot play professional golf on brown grass. That's it. And if you can't water the grass because of severe water drought restrictions, my question, if I'm allowed to have a question, is I live in Osceola County, Kissimmee, Florida, and we have something called reclaimed water. And I can water my lawn we cut back a little bit, but I water it twice a week with reclaimed water, which actually costs more than regular water. It really does. How come they don't have such a system in Hawaii? How come they can't have desalinization? They have a lot of water all over the place there, don't they? Look out in the ocean. Somebody needs to figure that out. And this guy gets a hair up his butt because he wasn't told, right? They don't have to tell you anything. They gifted you business for years. The same with the cruise lines. The cruise lines have been gifting you business. And I've said this many times, and I'll say it again. I live in Florida. I used to live in Southwest Florida. I moved from New Jersey to Southwest Florida, and you have a hard time convincing me I won't enjoy Marco Island, Sanibel Island, or Lombok Key as much as I will enjoy Hawaii. Now, if you live in California, I get it, but not from here. It's 8 hours. I've been to Hawaii. It's Japan. Anyway, I don't mean that in a bad way, but, every other person in Hawaii is Japanese. That doesn't mean it's bad, but they come. Japan supports Hawaii. Give up on American tourism. They all come from Japan. It's closer and they like it. The weather's better. Who knows? Golf courses, they have cheaper golf courses. But you cannot play professional golf on brown grass. And sponsors, players are disappointed. They love that. Those first 2 tournaments in January, take the family, open the season in Hawaii, was fabulous. These guys messed it up. And then they get upset, and he says, well, it was a leak, a sports writer. Well, you should have known. You're supposed to do that stuff, whatever. And a guy named Milton, now a guy named Milton can't make a deal. You know what I mean? That Milton signifies negotiation, like other people. So I'll dig myself out of the hole with that one. I think we have one more Reese ready, and then I ran out of time to build it. Let's see what
Guru.
happens.
How many airlines can the U.S. government own? The Association of Value Airlines, representing ultra-low-cost U.S. carriers like Frontier, Spirit, and Avalo, is lobbying the Trump administration for up to $2.5 billion in financial aid. The group says jet fuel prices have nearly doubled since February, jumping from about $2.50 a gallon to over $4, putting severe pressure on budget airlines already struggling with losses. Spirit Airlines, in particular, is facing its second bankruptcy restructuring since late 2024. Meanwhile, Allegiant and Sun Country, currently planning a merger, have remained profitable. The proposal calls for a government-backed liquidity fund to offset rising fuel costs, with participating airlines offering warrants that could give the government ownership stakes. The White House acknowledged the outreach but downplayed it, saying no policy decisions have been made. The airlines argue the request mirrors past federal support, including $58 billion in pandemic-era aid, and stress that maintaining competition in the airline industry is critical to the U.S. economy. Separate from this, the administration is also reportedly considering a potential bailout or even a purchase of Spirit Airlines. They go over.
All right. It's weird. I don't hear Reese, but I know what Reese was saying. And, where do you begin with this? I'll tell you the truth. I doubt the federal government will take care of all of them because of political pressure. And, the one side switches sides a lot because they want, I don't know what they want, but, I could see maybe helping Spirit because Spirit did get dealt a bad deal in that court in Boston. But the reality is there is bad management. I'll give you an example. Elliott comes in, buys up a piece of Southwest. Elliott's not a person, it's an investment company. And they buy a piece of Southwest and they convince Southwest they should scrap their entire business plan, which included free baggage, no assigned seats, line up like cattle. Well, guess what? I'm sorry they did that because it used to be $99 to get to Atlanta. Now my wife is flying on Southwest because Delta Economy Comfort was just shy of $1,000 round trip to Atlanta. It's a 1 hour and 10-minute flight on a good day. Almost $1,000, and just for a better seat. A seat that you used to get 10 years ago, you didn't have to pay for it. So Southwest works out to be $300 one way without paying for the bag now. So call it $670 to fly my wife an hour and 10-minute flight on what used to be a budget airline. And I gather it's working for them because their latest results were pretty good as far as their profit. And Spirit is sucking wind because they had all kinds of problems back then. Everybody thinks cancellation with Spirit, but I've never had a problem with them. So I could have flown the wife economy on Spirit for $44 one way. But I wouldn't do it because of CNBC and Bloomberg, and because I actually think they're going to go under now. I just don't think, my opinion, I'm not an economist, you know that. I don't think the federal government is going to do it. Then again, Donald Trump's sitting, he's thinking, how many airlines can we buy? Because he already said if Spirit goes under, we'll pick up the airline. That's a lot of planes. We're at a good price. What can we do with them? You know him. It's all about a flea market approach to things. But all of those, there's going to be so much pressure from the left saying we can't do that. And on top of that, who's going to line up after that? Scott Kirby from United. Even though they're doing quite well, they're hurting right now with the fuel cost. I will take you back to what Josh Weinstein said. Now, Josh Weinstein said at Seatrade, I think Carnival Corporation has 110 ships. Now, that's not as many planes as United has, but they have a lot of ships, and they also burn bunker. But he said we deal with it. When the fuel was down, Delta was making money. Now the fuel is up, they're not going to make as much, right? But they're not. No one needs to help them, but they're going to demand it. What's right for them better be right for us. So I predict, what the hell do I know? Chances are Spirit does go under because there isn't any way. I don't think the government's going to do it. I hope they do because I didn't even know there was the Association of Value Airlines, not budget, huh? Yeah, make it Jersey. The Association of Cheap Bastards who like to fly cheap. It's not even cheap anymore. I mean, it's not. I mean, now, other than going on Spirit, now we're coming back from Nashville on Frontier. That was reasonable. That was a front seat, no middle seat. I've said it before. Under $300 one way. Try to do that now on Delta, American, United. And as far as the fuel prices and the jet fuel prices, I don't know if I believe that completely. I completely get what's going on with the automobile fuel. They're gouging it. They're absolutely. That's another. I'm no Bernie Sanders, but I would like an investigation into how quickly it jumped up in, 2 months we've been into this war in Iran, and it jumped up that fast. Aren't there any reserves? Enough about this. Incredibly boring. That is today's live broadcast of this, whatever you want to call it. And it turned out better than I thought because I didn't have as many buttons to hit. But now I have another button to hit and see if it works. And I won't hear it. You don't need to know all this, but I'm telling you anyway. All right, hold on a second here. I don't hear any music, do you? Nope. It doesn't want to work. All right, well, that's okay. It wasn't as bad as we thought it would be. I know a lot of people that go, let's go watch a 25-minute train wreck. It's a Tuesday, and what else do we have going on before we go to Sam's Club or BJ's and pick up a chicken? That's pretty much our life. I don't have music here. I will tell you, yesterday, YouTube went through this thing with a fine-tooth comb and even questioned the music that I opened with. A different day, but they're both music that I have permission to use. So that was fun. But I can't play. The birthday song today was Vassar Clements on the audio. I get away with it there, but I can't do much here. So I thank everybody for watching this. I promise you on Monday it will be completely different, and I will have a picture of Steve Buscemi up here and maybe makeup. Maybe I'll get in the sun over the weekend because I make fun of the cadaver. I almost put on a black suit, white shirt, and a black tie today. And I might do that on Monday because more and more, if I don't get out in the sun, I live in Florida, it's terrible. All right, have a good one. Sorry about we don't have music going out. Hum along, and I'll talk to you. I will see you Monday at 10 a.m. live. I will talk to you tomorrow. The regular podcast I record at 6:30 in the morning. It's published by 8 a.m. And honestly, it's so easy compared to messing around with this. I appreciate all the support, the links, the likes, all the people that are calling us to book cruises. When I started, it was supposed to be hosted cruises. We've now branched out into a full-service travel agency. We can help you. We don't really do land, but that doesn't mean we won't learn. But we can certainly help you with any cruise line going anywhere in the world. As I mentioned yesterday, the wife just booked somebody a round trip Seattle on Oceana, on the Oceana Riviera, I think of there. We have a whole bunch of other things happening. Please check out our website, bestofseatours.com. Information about the Long Island Comedy Cruise reunion is not up there yet. If you're interested in joining us for that, just simply call our office or drop me an email at thedrakepodcast@gmail.com. thedrakepodcast@gmail.com. We'll put you on the waiting list because I'm waiting. It's called the waiting list because I'm waiting for my rates from Holland America. The minute I have them, you'll have them. We'll get you signed up. That is going to be 7 days of 24 hours of laughter, nonstop. So much fun. And almost like an NCO reunion. So many people have reached out to join us. So anyway, have a